Hello folks, I just want to make a brief video today and just thank everybody who's gone out to the brand new OnFireForGod.today's website that just went live today. And there's a particular part of that site that I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of. Catherine has done a lot of great work with regard to this particular part of the site, and there's a danger that it could go unexplored by a great number of people. So I just want to try to raise the awareness of what's taking place in this particular part of the website. And as you can see, we're starting out on the home page. So again, the URL is OnFireForGod.today's. And just all the way over to the right hand side in the Get Involved menu item, I'm going to come down to the penultimate submenu item, which is Submit Prayer Requests. And right below that, you'll see that there's another submenu item called Latest Prayer Requests. And when you hover over that, it will bring up the latest month or the latest month's worth of prayer requests. And since we're just getting underway here in October, the only thing that you'll see there at present is the October 2019 prayer requests. First of all, before we go into that, let's go into Submit Prayer Requests. And this is for anybody who comes to the site. If you'd like us to pray for you, for a family member, for anybody else, you can always come to this part of the website, quickly fill out a prayer request, and there are some options that I want to point out to you. So if I scroll down, it's basically asking for your name, your email address, and your prayer request. And then below that are 3 questions. Is your prayer request urgent? Yes or no? Obviously, we will try to get to all prayer requests as quickly as possible, but if it's an urgent request, something that is an important item that's taking place right now or something you need us to pray for, you can say that it's urgent and we will raise that to a higher priority. Second question, would you like us to publish your prayer request on this site? You can say yes or no thank you. If you say yes, we'll of course publish it as a prayer request so that it will become publicly available. But if you say no, then Catherine and I will pray personally for you. We're going to pray personally for everybody in all the prayer requests. But if you would like us to pray for you, but you don't want us to publish your prayer request on the site, just choose no thank you, and we'll just pray for you personally. And that's absolutely not only fine, but it would be a great honor for us to be able to pray for you. And then the last question is a follow-up to the second question about whether to publish your prayer request on the site. And if so, would you like us to include your name or to anonymize your name? You can choose either include my name, anonymize my name, or not applicable if you chose no thank you in the previous question. So that's just a quick overview of how to submit your prayer request. Obviously, once you have filled out your name, your email address, your prayer request, and just ticked off the relevant options here, you can just hover over the Submit Your Prayer Request. Submit it. You'll get an acknowledgement that the prayer request has been submitted, and we will get back with you as soon as we're able to. We'd like to do a quick turnaround on these, so you shouldn't have to wait for too long. Okay, so that's submitting the prayer request. If we go back to the top, back to Get Involved, and we scroll down here to Latest Prayer Requests, I just want to walk you through a few of the latest prayer requests to give you a sense of what's there. I think this is a really potentially really powerful part of the website, and again, it could easily go overlooked by people, so I want to raise the awareness here in this video. If I go into October 2019 prayer requests, we just have a little intro here. It says, we believe in the power of prayer to heal sickness, to provide for families, to surround believers with a hedge of protection, and to change lives for the better. All believers can go boldly unto the throne of grace in times of need, whether that need be our own or those of others. And please join us in praying for others around the world. And as you can see, although the site has just gone live, we have prayer requests that we have been honoring in other parts of our social media, on YouTube and so on and so forth, going back to the beginning of the month. And I'll take you into today's date, today being the 12th of October 2019. And so we get a quick little blurb here, just to give you a little bit of a quick intro as to what is going to be contained in this prayer request. Please join us today in praying for the Indian government to lead the country wisely and not increase Christian persecution. And then you can click on the Read More button, obviously, to get more information about that prayer request. And here we have just an overview, really, of what we've already seen on that introductory page about the fact that we believe in the power of prayer, so on and so forth. And then beneath that section, you'll see who we're praying for today. This heading will remain the same each day, but this information below it will differ day by day. And in this particular case, the Indian government to lead wisely. So we're praying for the Indian government to lead wisely. Christians say the outcome of spring political elections could result in increased persecution. Open Doors USA, who does really great work in terms of spreading awareness of the growing persecution of Christians all around the world. And many people don't know this. I think a great many true Bible-believing Christians are aware of it, or becoming increasingly aware of it. But Christians are the most persecuted group around the whole of the world. Most people have no idea about that because the media doesn't want to shine a light on Christian persecution. But in various parts of the world, the persecution is particularly heinous. Countries like India is getting worse, North Korea, China, different parts of Africa, and so on and so forth. And Open Doors USA does a good job of highlighting a lot of this persecution. Anyways, here it says, Open Doors USA ministry partners ask, please pray for our government here in India. Pray that they lead wisely. And down below that, you'll see two buttons. You can go back to more prayers if you'd like to look at a different day's prayer request. Or you can go back to submit prayer requests directly from this page. So it's a good way to navigate back and forth without having to keep going back to the main menu up here. And below the buttons, there are often really good resources that Catherine is doing a great job of sort of pulling together and researching various videos, podcasts, or articles, or whatever relevant information that pertains to the particulars of that day's prayer request. So we actually just this evening watched this particular video. We'd highly recommend it. It's a really important video to watch. And we will try to include resources like this beneath each prayer request where we have an opportunity to share some sort of resource that can help to bring to life the general persecution that is being addressed in the prayer request. When you either watch stories of these people or you listen to their stories or read an article about something that's going on, it makes it much more personal. And you can see what's really happening in the world. And we hope that through this part of the website, people will become much more educated about what's taking place in various countries around the world, and just the nature of the growing persecution for all true Bible-believing Christians that are taking place everywhere around the world. So that's for today's 12th of October. So again, I want to take you back to a couple more days. So instead of going back to the menu item, we'll just go back here to more prayers. That will take us back to the latest prayers on the site. And we can scroll down. And I want to take you over to the 10th of October. Please join us today in praying for Nkoya, a Nigerian whose UK asylum has been denied, and for the church in the Madagali, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, area of Nigeria. Nkoyo is actually a personal friend of ours who has just been denied asylum. We're still waiting to see how that's going to pan out, whether she's going to possibly be able to go through an appeal process or what. But we actually met her when we were staying in the Wirral, part of the UK, part of England that's very close to Liverpool. We went into Liverpool just for a day trip, and we're walking around the city center, and we heard this woman singing this amazing gospel music in the middle of a pedestrianized part of the city. And we went, and it became very quickly apparent that she was not only singing gospel music, but she was actually sharing the gospel. And so we sat down close to where she was just to offer a hedge of protection and to pray for her and to later help her hand out a bunch of tracts to people walking by that evening. She was an amazing woman. She invited us back to her home immediately. We had dinner at her house that night, somebody who we had just met late in the afternoon, early in the evening, and there we were sharing dinner together. So that was a really wonderful thing to meet Nkoyo. So she would really appreciate all of your prayers, I am sure, and we can provide updates with regard to her as well as time moves forward. Then down below, we're talking about the persecution that's taking place in Nigeria. Please pray for God's grace in the church in the Madagali area. Boko Haram fighters invaded a Christian community and killed as many as 25 people. Pray for strength in the midst of grief. So again, we've got the same two buttons. And then down below, we have a couple of videos that will give you much more information about the Christians living in this part of Nigeria. And again, we've just watched these videos as well. Two really informative videos. I think they're very heartwarming stories as well. So these are the types of resources that we want to share with people amongst the prayer requests. And I should say as well, let me go back down here. At the bottom of each day's prayer request, you also will see a subscribe button. And you can subscribe either to the On Fire for God updates and blog posts and or prayer requests to receive those directly in your inbox. So let me just go ahead and click on the subscribe button. It'll take you to another tab. Again, you just put in your email address, and here you can choose whether you want to receive blog posts and general updates. So whenever we publish a new blog post, you'll automatically receive a copy in your inbox, or just a sort of newsletter update. You can choose also to receive the daily prayer requests, or if you want, you can just choose to receive the prayer requests. Either way, whatever the choice is that you choose here, you can click on yes just to confirm that you would like to receive email updates from us, and just hit subscribe. And this form is from MailChimp. So you'll receive an email, a confirmation email from them with a confirmation link that you can just click on in your inbox to make sure that you've actually subscribed to these mailings. And from there on, you'll be added to the relevant list, whether to receive blog posts and general updates and or prayer requests. And that's all you have to do there. So just be aware that you can sign up to receive these prayer requests automatically in your inbox if you would like. And so that's it for the 10th of October. And I'll just go back to this button, more prayers. And there's another day that I'd like to just bring to your attention, which is the 5th of October. So I'm going to scroll down. 5th of October, please join us today in praying for Stephen, who confessed Jesus in High Wycombe. It's a town here in England, in the UK, and for the safety and spiritual strength of North Korean Christians. Read more. Okay, so here we are on the 5th of October prayer request, and I'm just going to scroll down as we did last time. And who we're praying for today, Stephen. We met Stephen after preaching in High Wycombe. He listened to the preaching throughout, and afterwards I talked with him and shared much scripture with him. Stephen confessed Jesus as his Lord and Savior, and we're just asking, please pray that Stephen continues to follow Christ and abides daily in his Bible. And he was actually already quite astute and quite a Bible reader. And it's interesting because, like so many other people we meet, Stephen believed in God, he prayed to God, but he had a difficult time believing in Jesus Christ. And as the Bible tells us, Jesus is a stumbling block for a great many people. People who otherwise believe in God but are not quite sure about how Jesus fits in. It was really a case of confusion and not really understanding the nature of Christ's divinity. And so Catherine and I sat down on a bench with him for probably about 20-30 minutes and really talked with him, gave him a lot of scripture, really showed him things that he didn't quite understand about who Jesus is. And then he wanted to confess Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior. So we just ask that you please consider praying for Stephen, and I'm sure that he would likewise very much appreciate your prayers. He was very excited and really, I think, quite stoked that we had that time together on that day. And hopefully that has completely changed his life, as Jesus Christ does for all who really put their faith, all of their trust in him for their salvation. And in addition to Stephen, the 5th of October, we are praying for North Korean believers. Pray for the safety and spiritual strength as North Koreans listen to the radio programs that Open Doors broadcasts in the middle of the night. God, we pray that this work among secret believers would bear fruit in and for your people. And the North Korean church is a completely underground church. It is reportedly the fastest growing church in the world. There are about 100,000 Bible-believing Christians in North Korea, 30,000 of which are reportedly in concentration camps. So almost a third of the Christian believers in North Korea are in concentration camps right now. If I scroll down, well, first of all, we get those two buttons, the more prayers, submit prayer requests that we talked about earlier. And here's a photograph that I took of Stephen shortly after he confessed Jesus Christ as his Savior. He's a really nice guy, and so please do pray for him. And then beneath that section, we've got the bit about North Korea. And these are two podcasts that I listened to, I think it was about a week ago when they first came out. It was part 1 and part 2, episode 29 and 30. This podcast is called Now Hear This, and it's produced by the folks who are called, the organization is called Faith Comes by Hearing. And we knew of them because the Bible, the audio Bible that we listen to, both on our computers and on our smartphones, was produced by Faith Comes by Hearing. And they do a fantastic job of producing audio Bibles for languages all around the world, some of which I believe are not even written languages. And so they're able to reach the gospel to those who are not able to read or to have a copy of the Bible. And they produce this podcast. And if you were to listen to part 1 and or part 2, I think you'll learn quite a lot about the state of the North Korean church. And as always happens with Christ's church, the more persecution comes, the faster the church grows. So it's an amazing thing. And despite the incredible risks that these people are taking, being executed for being Christians, for their testimony, or being placed into concentration camps, it's reportedly the fastest growing church in all the world. So do listen to those podcasts. Again, these are the types of resources that we will try to identify, to research, and include with the daily prayers where applicable. And again, we get the subscribe button that we talked about earlier. And that's it, folks. I don't want to take any more of your time. Thank you for listening to this video. I just really wanted to highlight this part of the website. Again, you get to it from here. Submit prayer requests, latest prayer requests. That's just one part of our website. And although it's a brand new site, it's already quite robust in terms of the information and the resources that we have out there. And perhaps we can make other videos about other parts of the site on a separate video. Anyways, again, I want to thank everybody who's gone out to our new website today. This is the beginning of something that we hope is going to be really big, a means for us to edify and to inspire one another, to connect up with fellow Bible-believing Christians all around the world, both online, through the site, through the comment section of YouTube, through the discussion tab of YouTube, through our social media accounts. Always reach out to us via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube comment, email, and not only do we hope to connect up with one another via online means, but also, where possible, God willing, opportunities for us to connect up with you in person, but also even more powerfully than that, for you to connect up with other people who are living locally around wherever you are. So no matter what part of the world you're in, ideally, as this community continues to emerge and grow and we connect up with one another, you'll be able to find people, hopefully, who are relatively close to you or even local to where you're living, that you can get together, go out and preach the gospel together, go door-to-door soul winning, hold local Bible studies, and do all sorts of other things for the kingdom of God. And we just hope that this is the beginning of something really explosive, something that can be really powerful for the kingdom of God, and to truly build a God-glorifying community in these otherwise dark last days within which we're all living. And again, thank you so much, and God bless.